Welcome back to Healthy Talk with BCH, empowering your wellness one conversation at a time. I'm your host, Rachel Mann, and today we have a special guest joining us. She is the Director of Senior Life Solutions here at Boone County Hospital, an organization dedicated to addressing mental health challenges in the aging population. Please welcome Heidi Kennedy.
Well, thank you for
Thanks
having
so much
me.
for joining us.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
So to start, could you tell the listeners a little bit about Senior Life Solutions and the work that you do?
Yes, I would love to. Senior Life Solutions is an intense outpatient program geared towards individuals that are 65 or older. And that is a population that, one, we don't have a lot of mental health resources for. Two, in our rural areas, we find that our elderly population is a little bit more than in other places sometimes. And so what we do is we offer intense outpatient group therapy 3 days a week, and that is facilitated by our therapist right now. That is Pamela. And then we also have one-on-one individual therapy. We have physical wellness checks. I'm a registered nurse, and so I do monitor individuals' vitals. We help monitor their weight. We manage some medications and facilitate different things with their doctors. And then we also do some case management, which would include if somebody needed assistance at home or possibly finding a new physician, maybe getting in with a podiatrist, different things like that that come up. We do help with that as well. And we also have a board certified psychiatrist that meets with our patients once a month and helps manage medications if that's needed.
Oh, that's awesome. So what motivated you personally to want to start working with Senior Life Solutions?
I have been in this field for about 23 years or so, and I would say 21 of those has been working with geriatrics.
Okay.
So my whole career has been working with individuals that are in the prime of their life, and I absolutely love it. I have worked in other branches of nursing, in hospice, home care, but I always tend to come back to working with individuals that are 65 or older. Okay. I also have worked with mental health, and so being able to work in the mental health realm and work with geriatrics, reading that job posting for the first time, the lights went on and I thought, wow, this is amazing. And so it has just really allowed me to kind of put all of my biggest dreams, I guess, into one position. So it was a pretty amazing opportunity for me.
Sounds like it was like tailored for exactly what you wanted to do.
Exactly. If you would have asked me 5 years ago, Heidi, what do you want to do? I would say, well, I would really like to work in geriatric psych, somewhere where, the need is great and it's not the typical inpatient type of situation. And here I am, and I get to do it every day. So it was a great opportunity. It is a great opportunity.
Wonderful. So mental health is a topic that's not discussed enough.
Correct.
Especially when it comes to seniors. Can you share some insight into the unique challenges that the aging population faces in terms of their mental health?
Yes, of course. So as we know, one of the most common things that we hear, I'm just getting old. We say that for everything.
I say that and I'm 30 something.
I know. So aches and pains. It's just, I'm getting older. I'm not as active, or, I'm feeling down and I don't feel like going out as much. Those things are all, and have been for so many years, contributed to getting old. Unfortunately, we haven't had the ability to let people know that that isn't a normal thing. All of the aches and pains and isolation and weight loss, or not wanting to, be around friends and family, that is not a normal part of aging. And so being able to educate and help people recognize that just because we are getting older and we are at a time in our lives where we are going to start to slow down, we should not have a significant change in pain or appetite, different things like that, unless there's something else going on.
It's so important to shine that light on those challenges. Like you said, you think, it's just part of growing old, but it's not. So how does Senior Life Solutions work to break down that stigma surrounding mental health in older adults? And what strategies have you found or your team found effective in encouraging seniors to seek help?
So I think that the most important thing is education, and to get out into the community to tell people what to look for, what is normal, what is not normal, at what point should you seek help. And so just going out and talking to people, inviting people to come in and talk to us, but not just talking to the individuals themselves. We want to talk to their daughters, their sons, their spouses, their doctors, the entire community. Everybody needs to kind of understand what to look for and when to ask for help, really. And so going out in the community, I get to meet so many great people and talk with them about, what is the difference in somebody that is suffering from depression and anxiety, or what's the difference between depression and dementia. Going to the schools and teaching the kids, what does it look like when grandma's not feeling great, or talking to our doctors, our providers here at Boone County Hospital and in our clinics. That has been great as well. The nurses have been so receptive, but just telling them too, it's not normal and we're here to help. And just knowing that, so many of the individuals that do come to our program, they're like, oh, well, I worry, but I don't excessively worry. And then when we explain to them what excessive worry is, they're like, I've done that my whole life. What? Wow. And so just explaining the little things, like the difference of being a worrywart as opposed to it being anxiety or veering from depression. Individuals who say, I'm getting old and I'm starting to get dementia. Really, is it dementia, or is this individual suffering with some depression? And is the depression causing the anxiety, or, vice versa? Just really helping people understand the differences of what to look for, and that most of us have some type of anxiety or depression, but at what level do we need to seek help? And letting them know that they're not alone and that it's okay. It's okay to feel anxious and to be a worrywart, but it's also okay to talk to somebody about it.
So I would love to hear more about how you can tailor programs for an individual's unique circumstance.
It's pretty amazing because being a small program is, there's 3 of us, and allowing, when we have 10 or, 11 people coming in, it kind of seems like it would be difficult to tailor that. But it actually works so amazing. And so let's say an individual comes to us and they've recently lost a spouse. They're dealing with some issues with grief. They maybe are seeing some increased depression symptoms. They've lost some weight. They're not wanting to go with their friends, and they just, they're just not themselves.
Sure.
So we can not only just have them in a group where they're going to talk with others, they're going to bounce ideas off of each other, they're going to talk about their ups and downs, but then specifically to that person, we would look at how much individual help do you need? How often do you need to work with the therapist? And in that, are we looking at your nutrition? What's going on with your nutrition? Do you need to see a dietitian? Do you need to maybe see the podiatrist because you don't go walking anymore? And we get into it and they're like, well, I've been hanging out and I haven't cut my toenails in 3 months. And so their feet hurt. So we're able to personalize everybody's program depending on what their needs are. We have individuals that come to us that have, lots of children, lots of family issues, people that don't have any children at all.
Sure.
So maybe their loneliness is different from somebody else's loneliness, but they're able to help each other with that general concept of, we're feeling lonely. These are some of the ways that we can get past this. And I really enjoy, working with them and saying, what are your needs? What do you want to work on? What are your goals? Every person that is in our program, we have an individualized treatment plan that we have for them. They have goals to work for, and those goals are tailored exactly to what their symptoms are. So if their symptoms are isolation, maybe their goal is going to be to go visit a friend and have coffee once a month. So it doesn't have to be this huge earth-shattering thing that they're doing. It could be something as simple as, I don't get up until 9 o'clock, and I would really like to get up at 8 o'clock so that I can watch Wheel of Fortune in the morning. And I haven't done that in 2 years. I mean, that in its own is a very simple thing, but to some people it could be very big. So we tailor it exactly to what their needs are, whether it's a big need or a little need, and start small, go big, tailor down to, small things. But we also tailor it to how often they come to our program, how many group days a week do they need, how many individual therapy sessions do they need, how often do they need to see the doctor, is there an issue with their blood pressure where we need to take it more often. Everybody's program looks completely different.
Okay. It's always helpful. I think anybody in life can agree that when you have someone to talk to and other people who are going through maybe not the same situation, but something, they're willing to listen, they're willing to talk, and that itself just, I feel like, lifts a weight off of you. So success stories are probably the highlight of your work. Are you able to share a few examples of where Senior Life Solutions has made a positive impact on the mental well-being of someone?
Yes, definitely. We see individuals that a lot of grief. Recently, their spouse has passed away, or even, their spouse has passed away years and years ago. We've seen individuals come in and they haven't left the house in, 6 months. They don't talk to their friends anymore. And maybe now they're getting out in the community. They're going back to volunteering, or they've contacted a friend from high school and they're feeling okay. It's okay to move on, and I'm okay to do this. My loved one would be more than happy with me doing this, not only getting through the stages of grief, but also being able to take it up a level of, this is what I'm working through. And now I'm able to excel and really take it to that next level. So that is so much fun. And it's also fun watching our patients work with us, doing fun things for Christmas. We're going to do some caroling, and we have individuals that don't leave their house ever. And I said, hey, what do you guys think about just caroling down the hall? And they're like, yeah.
Oh, that's,
so it's the little things, those successes that we see. It doesn't always have to be this huge ordeal. It's just the small wins that we have every day. It's so amazing to watch.
That just kind of warms your heart.
It does.
Caroling. Oh, so I'm going to shift gears a little bit, and I'm going to talk about COVID with the pandemic. COVID. I know.
Yes.
So obviously that affected everyone's mental health.
Right.
So what are you guys at Senior Life Solutions? How are you navigating that?
So COVID, of course, like you said, it hit everybody, and it hit everybody hard. Unfortunately, it really hit the aging population with like a brick wall. And these individuals who weren't able to get out anyway, they really looked forward to their kids coming once a week, or their grandkids visiting, or the home health nurse coming out to just say hi. And that all just very abruptly stopped. And so now that we're getting into a normal routine of being able to do things, the biggest thing is knowing that our population that we serve may be more at risk for things such as respiratory illness, that type of stuff. So we do weekly education on things like what to look for COVID. If you're having these symptoms, give us a call. Let's get you in. I will help facilitate to get them an appointment so that they can get tested. If they have COVID, we have telehealth services.
Oh, that's awesome.
They don't have to miss group because of COVID. And even during COVID, when everything was shut down, Senior Life Solutions all over the country, we were able to get telehealth up and going and still help people through that. And we are seeing a lot of residual from the isolation of COVID. I would say 90% of the individuals that we treat are having some pretty significant symptoms based on the isolation and the fear of what COVID put us through. And so we are just working with the community to let them know, yes, it's still out there. And yes, there's still that risk, but there are steps that we can take to take care of ourselves physically and mentally. And so we just want everybody to know that if you can't go out, reach out, call somebody, somebody, there's still options out there, even if you can't leave the house, maybe if you're having symptoms or that type of thing.
Sure. I think adapting to circumstances is crucial. And sometimes it's maybe a stigma that elderly folks don't like change.
Very much so, yes. Yes.
So looking ahead then, do you see any other future challenges in addressing mental health in the aging population? And do you think there are emerging opportunities that could enhance support for seniors?
Definitely. So we have for many, many years had a hurdle of not having the resources and the funding for mental health. So not having the support of our lawmakers and not having the opportunities available for people. People are asking for help and there's just not help there. They are in need. They need somebody right now. And the wait lists are sometimes 7-8 weeks out. And so one of the things that is important is for individuals in the community to relay to, your congressmen and your representatives how important it is and how we need these resources. But fortunately, we have services like Boone County Hospital that are seeing the need and they're reaching out and they're providing the opportunities to bring in programs such as Senior Life Solutions to be able to adapt that population and serve their community. It's a great thing to be able to work with the smaller hospitals. We are in a rural population, so that's always going to be a hurdle. Even if their services are available, it may be in Ames or it may be in Des Moines. So expanding the opportunities close here in Boone are so important. And I know that they're working on getting mental health services at the clinics for telehealth. We have Senior Life Solutions now. We also have a program called Embrace. It is telehealth, and that's for all ages. And so if somebody comes in or when they leave our program, we do recommend that they call Embrace because that's such an amazing opportunity as well. So getting as much information, talking to as many people as we can about it, and really working on getting the funding and having the opportunity for people to, once they realize that they need help, they need somewhere to go for it.
Yeah, I feel like forward thinking is important for this because mental health's not going away.
Right. And, I think it's always been a thing. However, we didn't recognize it as anxiety. We didn't recognize it as depression.
You just think, oh, that's just life.
It's life. I'm a grumpy person. Things get stressful. It upsets me, and that's just the way it is. And so as we learn more about mental health and we try to bring out that awareness to everybody about what to look for and that it's okay, that stigma, we need to cut it down. We need to let everybody know that mental health is important. It's just as important as your health. If you have diabetes, you're not going to go to Dairy Queen every day.
Right.
So if you have depression, you need to reach out, and it is an illness. And so there are different steps that you can take. You may need the medication, but also therapy is so important. And just having somebody to talk to, having a community, having resources, it's just so important.
So for our listeners who might have an aged loved one, what proactive steps can they take to support their mental health? And are there specific signs or indicators that they should be aware of?
Yes. And so obviously it's a little different in everybody, but if an individual has maybe recently been diagnosed with a terminal illness or somebody who's recently lost a spouse, and they're maybe 6 months out and they're still not able to get back to their normal routine of what they were doing prior. Those are things to kind of look for. Isolation, just shutting people out, not wanting to talk to people, changes in appetite, whether that be a decrease and so they're losing weight, or an increase and they're gaining weight, possibly aches and pains. Depression and anxiety cause a ton of different things as far as our physical health goes. Muscle weakness, muscle tension, headaches. So new onsets of that, if you just say, I just always hurt, I just always have body aches all over, I would say it's a good time to talk to somebody and see kind of what's going on. And then also looking for individuals that maybe are stopping doing things that they like. Individuals that have retired, they're going through a change and all of a sudden they don't feel like they have a purpose anymore. So they tend to kind of isolate. They may not enjoy anymore what they did before. Maybe they were on a bowling league and they quit that, or they were volunteering at the library and they quit doing that. just those simple changes of maybe mom's not quite acting right. Or, you go to the gas station every day and the lady that helps you is always nice. She's always sweet. She always tells you to have a good day. And then you notice when you're going in that, she's not making eye contact anymore. Maybe she is not giving the correct change and she's always done that. Those are little things that can be related to our mental health, especially in those where at that age, life is changing dramatically every day. We have health changes. We have losing individuals that are loved ones, spouses, siblings, parents, our job, bursts of anger. Maybe somebody is a little testy when they never have been before, or maybe more forgetfulness. A cognitive decline can be kind of right there side by side with depression. Just maybe getting that checked out and saying, hey, look, I've noticed these. And it could be just a bit of depression.
Who doesn't like just, hey, are you doing okay?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, just asking. And a lot of times somebody may not be struggling as much as we think, but just a smile and how are you? We were talking in group today about AID and at the hospital, and the group said, everybody's so happy here. And every time we're walking through the hall, somebody smiles at us. And we love coming to group, but we love coming to group because we're at the hospital and everybody always has a smile. It's just so important how we approach people. It can brighten their day a little bit.
For sure. So collaboration is crucial in any kind of healthcare.
Very much.
So how does Senior Life Solutions work with do they work with local senior centers, with healthcare providers to provide mental health care resources and support?
Yes. So we are available to come and we provide education for in-services. We go to the adult day center and do different things every month. Tomorrow we're going to go and decorate cookies. Last month we made little turkey things. The month before we decorated pumpkins. So we do go out into the community, and we're not just there to promote what we do. We're there just to provide some happiness in everybody's lives. So we are able to go out to different places, talk to individuals. So if you have a loved one that you're worried about and you call and say, hey, look, I'm a little worried about my mom, I can go out to the home and speak with them, get to know them, talk to them about the services that we have. We also work with the library. We've done a lot of things with the library. We have an amazing library here in town. And so we have been able to participate in things like the reading kickoff this summer. We were able to participate in the trick-or-treating. And during that time, there were a few individuals that were like, hey, I have a question for you. And so just being out in the community, it doesn't necessarily have to be at a nursing home or something like that. We are able to go talk to anybody, and we want to talk to everybody that we can about mental health and what to look for and the opportunities there are to help with that.
One, I think we're so blessed to live in a rural small town to have that almost sense of like family community, but then it's got to be easier for you guys to almost organically be able to bring it up in those fun situations and kind of do a double check. How's everybody doing?
Yes. And that's one thing I love about what I do as the program director. Part of my job is the community education. And so I get to go out, and not only do I get to help the demographic that I love and that I'm passionate about, but I get to go out and tell everybody about it. I get to talk to so many people every day and tell them how great our program is, but also just help enlighten their day and let them know that they're not alone. And so being in the small community is phenomenal because we do get to know each other and we get to, people just in Boone. I'm not from Boone, but they'll see me and they know, that I'm with Senior Life Solutions or talking about dementia, that type of thing. And it's just so much fun to have a community like Boone to be in because it's great.
I've lived here my whole life and I always said I didn't want to be here and I'm still here. But yeah, raising kids and everything, it's just wonderful. It's nice having the bigger places close.
Right.
But we are also very fortunate that we have the resources in Boone that we do, like a hospital, like Senior Life Solutions, healthcare providers, OB, so many things where I don't need to leave Boone and I don't need to go to those big cities unless absolutely necessary. scary.
Yes, it's amazing. I have lived in small towns. I'm from Northwest Iowa. And one of the reasons why I moved to the Des Moines area when I graduated nursing school was for the opportunities. And that was because most small towns don't have OB. They don't have mental health. I mean, we have 3 or 4 clinics, and we have opportunities for mental health, OB. We have med surg, we have podiatry, we have so many things right here in Boone that we started coming over to Boone from Ames because we don't need to go to the bigger towns because Boone has it all.
I know.
Which is
and
amazing.
That's got to be good for the senior population too. Yeah. If they're having trouble not wanting to get out of the house. I mean, if you needed to go to Des Moines, that's a trek.
Right, it is.
And not having to do that, being able to, okay, well, let's just get you out of the house. You just need to come 5 minutes to get to a meeting with us.
Yes. And the best part about that too is being in a small community. If somebody's not able to drive, we will provide transportation for them to come to us. And if they can't get out of the house for some reason, I will go to the home, help them get set up on Zoom, help them figure out the means to, do you need a smartphone or a tablet, that type of stuff. And a lot of times you don't have that personal touch in the big cities or in the metro area. And so it is nice that we have that small town feel.
It's wonderful for our community involvement, and it's wonderful for our patients. So finally, as we wrap up, what message would you like to leave with our listeners regarding the importance of mental health awareness and support for our seniors?
I think the biggest thing would be that you're not alone. If you're struggling, it's okay. It's hard and it is difficult to want to talk about things, but everybody at some point has had some issues, and there's nothing wrong with us for having something going on with our mental health. So reaching out and getting help is so important. And we just want everybody to know that there are individuals out there that care. There are resources, and they can call the hospital. They can call us at any time. And even if you're not 65 or older, give us a call. We will help you find the resources that are needed. That's the first step, is just asking for help and just talking about it.
That's the hardest part sometimes, is just, okay, I'm gonna ask for help, because especially kids have no problem asking for help. My daughter asked me, help me put my shoes on. You're 6, you can put your shoes on. But the older you get, you don't want to have to rely on other people for help.
We don't, especially those individuals who are in their 60s and 70s, and they've taken care of families. They've ran businesses. They have ran farms. They've, been in control and doing things their entire lives. And now all of a sudden things are getting harder and harder, and it's okay. That is okay, because that's not a normal part of aging. And so there is help out there. So the most important thing is just to know that there is help. There are individuals out there that can get you the services that you need. Just making that first step and making that call is the most important.
Have you ever had anyone after a group therapy session or say, well, I don't feel better now?
Never.
Yeah.
Never. We actually had a gentleman today come in, and he didn't have a very good night, and he came in and he was like, I don't think I'm going to make it through group. My back hurts. I'm just not having a good day. And then it just happened to be a day where we were having an extra group, so they needed to stay an hour late. And we came in at the end of that hour, and he said, I feel so much better. Yeah. I don't hurt right now. Whatever it was that we talked about in the group that just took that weight off my shoulders has made everything better today. Yeah. And so it is amazing how even one group session can make such a big difference.
Thank you so much, Heidi, for joining us today and providing such valuable insight to the critical work done by Senior Life Solutions. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Healthy Talk with BCH. If you or someone you know would like more information on Boone County Hospital Senior Life Solutions program, please call 515-433-8713. Anyone can make a referral to this program, yourself, family members, physicians, or healthcare professionals, so don't hesitate to reach out. That's all for this episode. Stay tuned and subscribe for more engaging episodes on Healthy Talk. And until then, stay informed, stay healthy, and keep the conversation going with Healthy Talk.